Hi, my name is Miss Woody. I will be your students Drawing 2 and Drawing 3 art teacher. To get things started, a little bit about me. I went to CMSU and Baker for my undergrad and master's. I continue to take art education, education courses at UCM and art classes at KCAI. Just this past summer, I took 2 courses on mixed media painting, an abstract non-objective design, and 2 courses on dyslexia and another course on leadership. So I am always trying to find ways to grow and learn. I have 4 kids, ages 8, 8, 8, and 12. And yes, you heard it right. There are 3 8-year-olds in my home. Well, they'll be 8 this month. They are Lee Summit, our 7 students as well. So we are tackling this online in-person instruction together as a family and just making the best of it. So I can relate with where you are as parents. My spouse is a science buff who works in a local laboratory. It's been great conversations over the summer of how I just want to see my students back in class and get back in the buildings, and how he's got his science perspective. So it's been interesting. I grew up in Lee Summit. I graduated from Lee Summit High School, and I have been teaching for 16 years. I did a long-term sub job at Park Hill, and then I taught at Lee Summit High for 14 years, and I moved over here to Lee Summit West, and I've been teaching here for 2 years. My hobbies include jogging, kayaking, gardening, anything outside, anything challenging, anything that pushes me to my limits and it challenges me to have a more open mindset about things. So I love adventure and doing things with my family. We have quite a few pets. They are also a huge part of our family and have been a joy to hang out with. My contact info is here. I do have Plan 4th Hour, and you guys will need to pay attention to these A-Day, B-Day schedules. These things are going to become part of ways students can connect with teachers and get some extra help. So what we have here is A-Day schedule, B-Day schedule, and Wednesday schedule. A is hours 1, 3, 5, 7, and B is 2, 4, 6. So it's very much like what you would see in a college setting. So right here, this is training for I guess our kids to be successful learners in college. But also, you'll notice that there's a lot of tutoring time. So as a teacher of 16 years, I've seen the need for students to be able to touch base with teachers during school day, and it's very rare for them to stay after school. So this is a really good opportunity to touch base with teachers and get one-on-one instruction or maybe a small group instruction. Down here is the predicted hybrid schedule, if we ever go there and when, and we're not going to talk about that because right now we are on this schedule right up there. This is the current calendar. You'll notice A-Day, B-Day, A-B, 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 A-B. And right here is the class schedule for the first day of school. So we're going to be meeting all together as a group, going through the whole entire school day that day to get to know each other. Virtual learning expectations for students. Please take a minute and review this. Just pause the video and take a second to look at those expectations. You're going to then notice that I have a virtual classroom. This will be set up through Schoology. I do use Schoology as the platform to learn, so we'll be creating folders, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. We'll be using Schoology to communicate and post stuff. So this will be in there as well. So I've been working on this. I feel like a game designer, which is crazy, but it is what it is. And for example, if I click on the clock, if I click on the clock, it's going to take me to our bell schedule. If I click on this video, it's going to take me to our enrollment video. If I click on the calendar, it will open the calendar. We'll eventually have all these tabs filled with different things for different resources for the learners. So hopefully this becomes an interactive classroom, a way to get your learners involved and working together and working with me. So going back to our discussion of Schoology, to be honest, when I was in the spring working with my own learners and students, I was not logged into PowerSchool and Schoology as a parent. And I had no idea how to help my learner. I was confused on what they were doing. I was confused how to direct them. And then I reached out to the technology department and said, please, I need to get connected. Once I did that, it was a game changer. I would log into my accounts in the morning. I would write on a Post-it note what my learners needed to do in a checklist form, and I would send them off to go do their work. Meanwhile, I could then do my work, and I made it so they were making sure they were doing all of their work. We had scheduled time to take breaks, different things like that, but I'm saying it because it's really important that you guys take a minute and just log in to those accounts and create your own account. It became a game changer for me as a parent, and I feel very grateful that we have access to that. And here we go again, wrong tab. Moving forward, you guys are going to be getting supplies for your students. I've tried to prepare a pile of supplies that will get your student through quite a couple of weeks of learning. We will need to pick up more supplies, but this is what I could come up with for right now, and there will be a supply list that you guys will need to pick up. I tried to keep it reduced as much as I could. We worked district-wide with all the drawing teachers to come up with similar supplies, and these things will be coming home for your learner for the projects. With that, we need to create partnership. So students, I work with students and the students work with you. You will need to communicate with the students and communicate with me, and I will also need to communicate with you and the student. We can't do it alone. It takes a village to raise a child, and it really does. So we have to partnership together to be able to do what's best for the student, to be able to help them. Notice if they are starting to slide away or if they are too engaged. Sometimes those learners can have a difficult time, just like us adults, with disconnecting from our work or our schoolwork. So having someone helping us is really, really important. So learners need you as a parent, even though they say they don't. They do. They need you. And I actually need you too to help me understand what's going on at home. How does the grade look and how does the studio class work? Well, we're going to be creating artwork all the time. It's drawing class. We've got projects going on and skill activities. And with that, as drawing 2 and 3, you guys, we are going to be creating lots of dialogue and conversation. We need to give peer review. We need to talk about artwork openly, provide feedback, participate in those discussions. That dialogue's huge. Research workbook. With your research workbook, it's a sketchbook, but I call it research workbook. Therefore, you are researching. Your learner is going to research ideas, research art history, research material, research a ballpoint pen, gel pen, graphite pencil, which one to make a portrait, and then sketch things out. Practice, practice, practice. Try them in different materials. Take notes. Create compositions, different sketches, and use this workbook as a method of researching what works and what doesn't work. And then through that, develop ideas and decisions that will go towards a project. Sometimes I'll have students even take paper on top of things to just layer their concepts together, just like a scientist would do in a research workbook of their own. Developing ideas. That journal is going to be key. So sketchbook is going to be big, big, big in this class. So 8.5 by 11, 9 by 12. So whatever is the size of a piece of paper. If it's smaller, no. If it's too big, no. I need it to be able to fit in a backpack. So if it's a piece of paper size, you're good to go. The last step is art exploration. So art exploration is looking at artwork, contemporary and historical, the impacts of our culture and society, and investigating it. Why did artists do what they did? What caused them to do that? What was going on in the world that caused them to create that piece of artwork? How did the community and society view that piece of artwork? Did they accept it? Did they not? What was it made out of? How much was that object at the time that they made it out of, the supplies? And then how does that inspire us to create our own artwork? How does the mood and emotion or the concept inspire us, or the media, or the size, or the technique? So all of those things will come into play when we're discussing and having a dialogue of artwork and art making and purpose behind artwork. we're talking about it, and we're researching these things, and we're defending them. Well, I wanted to do a self-portrait in pen and ink because I liked the harsh line, or I liked charcoal. I liked the strong contrast that charcoal provides. I like the messy strokes with it, or I like the cleanness of graphite. Why is a student choosing what they're doing, and can they defend those in a conversation? And it goes back to creating artwork. So that's a summary of the art process. Late work, drawing too, students have experienced this. This is nothing new to them, and yet sometimes those students, because of that, they can sometimes become lackadaisical in turning things in on time. But with online learning, we've got to stay straight to the point and keep plugging away. So there's going to be different types of work. You've got your daily activities, and then you have your projects. Daily activities are things done. Maybe it might be like a 2-day activity, sketch 5-hand sketches in your sketchbook, draw them and turn them in. It'll be a 0 if it's not turned in. If it's a project like a self-portrait and it takes 2 weeks to do that, you'll have an extra week outside of class to turn that in on time. And it'll still be a 0 if it's not turned in on time, but you have a week to finish that up outside of class. After that week, the highest that student can get is 59% for that late work. That student has used the class time, used a week outside of class time, and still has not turned it in. So that late work is going to be watched, and they need to fill out a late work form. That way, that holds them accountable for answering some questions: why it was late, what happened, how many days is it late, and provides documentation to them how many times they're turning things in late. Over here, online success, how to help your learner be successful, tips to being successful, creating a schedule, group discussion, participating in discussion, getting involved, talking to the teachers, reaching out for help, taking breaks. Don't forget, allow grace and praise and forgiveness. We're not going to do this perfectly. It's something that we're all new to, and that we're going to have to practice to do our best with. And so with that said, we have to help each other out. We have to advocate for our learners and help them create a good schedule, help them create a checklist of things to do so they're not accidentally not turning things in. Drawing 2 and 3, experience art through exhibitions, shows, and galleries. Get out there, look at artwork, go on websites, talk about it in your home. Chat about the meaning of art and is it art? What makes it art? Have those conversations because they get carried into the classroom. And at that point, they become then fuel for classroom development and growth. So have those risky conversations at home while you're driving or just talking together. If our project is to create a drawing of 3 portraits in one, then go out there and look at Cubist artwork, see what you can find. Lastly, I am a sponsor of National Art Honor Society. Some of you may already know that your kid's involved in this, or they might not be. It's a great way to get involved in the arts. It's a community-based art club. We focus on community service. We do murals to spread, positive vibes. We've done murals at the elementary schools. We hope to continue to do that stuff as the school year gets going, but we just might have to make it small group. And with it, you get out in the community and spread your joy and awareness of art and share that with the world. I also think it helps for those people that might want to be art educators, helps them find ways to get involved out there, and you can get these cords for graduation. So I had a lot to go over. I tried to go as fast as I could, but please email me if you have any questions. I look forward to seeing your student in Drawing 2 or Drawing 3. This is a combination class, so we've got both together, which is awesome because they get to thrive and work off of each other and inspire each other. So just like artists did, you had Gauguin and Vincent van Gogh all working together making artwork, and they all inspire each other. So I'm really excited to get to know your learners and see the artwork that they're making and get to know them. Please reach out if you have any questions.